Right, I've now glued the side boxes on at the back of the rear fender. So you got 123 and 124 on the left side, that's that box. And then you've got the 125 and 126 box on the right side. You've got these locator pins there on each side of the box, and those glue into the locating pinholes on the extender arm at the back of the fender. So there's the two connecting bits there on the back of the extender rod there on the left side. On the right side, that's where those connect there. Once those were glued in, I then put this like C-shape rod there, which is 128. Now there's some little grooves there at the back of each box where that glues into. So I had to super glue for that. So I located them. I had to squeeze the boxes in slightly so they'd meet at the rod. But now the glue's dried, the super glue, it strengthened that at the back. Once that was done, then I've got 131 for the right side and 131 for the left side. You've got like a short arm on the one side and a long extended arm on the other. So the short thing, the short rod part of the rod, that glues into like that C shape at the bottom of the box. So you put that in first, and then the longer rod goes into, it's got like on the head of the rod, it's got like a locating pin. There's the pinhole. So you just put a bit of super glue on there and push that into place. You got the same on the right side. There's that little C-shaped hole there, and then you can just see the super glue mark when I've glued that in. Once that was done, I got the main top box, which is 129. The only problem being these arms are slightly too long, so you just have to nip about 1 maybe 2 mil off each end of the arm, and that will sit directly perfect. It will go in with no problems. You just have to adjust it slightly so that's level, so it's not on the piss. But that's that box done. So with all that being done, the boxes are now done. Right, now the boxes are all on, all them steps. I'm on step 59 and step 60, and I'm not liking this one bit. It's telling me to glue the rear lamp assemblies into place. You've got the 109 and the 131, which are those with the clear, you know, orange and that assembly. That's not going to be a problem. It's this back lamp assembly. Because on the instructions, here's my little sheet. It's telling you, I glued that part into the back of there, and then you got this like Egyptian Ankh look, you know, it's a bracket, but that's what it looks like, an Egyptian Ankh shape. It doesn't tell you that there's going to be a massive gap between the red piece and the black plastic piece. So that grey there, that is electrical tape. That's going to be, I'm going to put some milliput on top of that to fill that in. So there's me one gripe. The next bit I don't like one bit. Like I said, this has now got to be glued directly to the back fender. There's no bracket, there's no beam, there's no nothing. There's no mounting tab, it's just that there is got to be glued onto there. So what I'm doing is I'm test fitting the bracket for the aerial so it, you know, doesn't get in the way of that when I'm mounting that on. That's got to just go on there. Nothing, just straight on there. And then another thing that's griping me is this chrome piece here, number 127. I've got to glue that onto the bottom of the fender. Now on the front fender, it tells you to glue that piece on there right away and then mount it to the front wheel. On the back fender, you've got to do all this work with the boxes and everything else, and it's pretty much one of the last steps, and that's got to be glued straight to there. So why didn't that tell me to glue that onto the fender, turning the pages over, when I was doing this in step 39. Revell, in their infinite wisdom, I don't like this one bit. Welcome back. I can happily say that the bike is now finished. Just a few loose ends to tie up, bit of decaling, touching up, bit of construction, and the bike is all finished. Just under 2 months work. So here's the final reveal. I'm turning the camera around, there it is, all finished. Now when I'd left you, I was on step 59, figuring out how I was going to put that assembly on, the rear lamp assembly, which is step 52. So you got that bracket there, which was 134 onto the back of 113 with all the clear parts. What I did is I test fitted in stage 60 the bracket that the aerial sits on, and I found that the top of the plus shape of the bracket that leads onto the rear lamps, I could actually manoeuvre that up and get it to glue to the bottom of that bracket to give it a bit of extra support. So basically what I did is I just ran the glue, the super glue, all the way around the back of part 134, which was basically a drop there, drop around the top, around the sides and underneath. Firstly, I mounted it to that plus sign to the back of the bracket for the aerial, and then just pushed that into place, and within a few seconds it glued into the position I wanted it to. And then once it cured, I put a drop of glue of the normal Revell glue, the contactor, just to give it a bit of strength, and then just let that set. The glue marks weren't that bad, to be honest, so I just painted over with a black and then the clear gloss. So that's that sorted. I then put the aerial into the back of the bracket and then pushed. There's a little tab on the back of here. Where is that little tab? There it is. There's the little tab there. That pushes into the back of the top box. So I'll just put some glue around that. Ran some glue around the aerial. I chromed the aerial in one piece and then glued that into place. The rear orange lamps, which are the 109 and 133s, you can see on the plans there's a little notch there, and that glues into the hole in the back of the 109. But what you have to do is you have to push it in and then pull it forward, because the actual C shape is on the back, from the back, so you just pull it forward with the glue and that sets perfectly. The number plate, the plans call for you to just mount it to the back with nothing. You can see there, it just tells you to put the decal on the back hanging down, but you know how flimsy the decal would be. So what I did is I got a piece of card off of a McCain jacket potato box, painted it silver, put the decal on it, sealed it, and then cut round. And all I've done is I've just got some double-sided sticky tape, clear tape, and just mounted it to the back of the fender, because what it actually does, it actually calls for you to mount it onto that lip on the bottom of the rear lamp assembly, as it says there. But I didn't want to do that because it wouldn't stick or anything, so I just stuck it to the back of the fender. Once that was done, I then moved on to the front. You got this little assembly here, which is the 108 and 107, which is like a wing mirror, and that glues into the hole on top of the handlebars there, just in front of the trigger for the brake stroke accelerator gear change. And then last but not least was the windshield. That was one piece, which is 137. It tells you to paint on the back in the 36190 silver, so that's what I did. I just got some of my thin line tape and just masked off the insides. And it took 4 coats to get it right. So there's the silver. And then you got the brackets there. I painted those in silver as well. And then you got 2 little C-shaped brackets on that main there, mounting tabs on there, and they mount into that notch there and that notch there. I got them on this side with no problems. They went in no problem. But on this side here, that notch there was actually sitting on that pin there, so I had to pull it out slightly, stretch it a little bit without breaking it, and pull it out and push it down, and eventually it locked into place. And I haven't even had to glue that. That is actually a really that is really stiff. That is really well connected, as it were. I'm trying to get one, bloody getting tongue tied here, but like I said, that doesn't move at all. That's white solid, that is now, so I don't even need to glue that. Right, now decal wise, once I've done all this, you've got the California Highway Patrol star there, you got the police white logo there and the Motorola. They're 2 separate decals. Just get the microsol on the police lettering. Same on this side. I've done the tank decal, which was like a teardrop shape to go down the side of the fuel tank. That's 1 decal with a California Highway Patrol in the decal. I've still got a couple of creases, but I've treated these with a microsol about 6 or 7 times and the crease won't go away, so I'm hoping Woody won't be bothered about that. So that's that side, and that's that side there as well. This one isn't too bad, there's only 1 fold there. And that's the bike pretty much done. I'll just turn this round to give you one last look at her. It's not been a bad build, you know, it's been a trial by fire, but I've got there. The only thing I don't like about this kit, I've never had a kit where I've had so much moulding flash. A lot of flash on this, and a lot of cutting off and sanding down, so that's one thing you're going to have to deal with on this, a lot of moulding flash. But the one thing I do like about this kit is the centre console. I don't know if I've told you about it in previous updates, but that decal that comes on the underneath shows, the speedometer decal shows really clear. I'm really well chuffed with that. And finally I've got it off that block, and it's now leaning on the kickstand. And it's not too bad. It ain't 100% you know, stable, but this has been standing on its kickstand all night and all day today, and it's not too bad. I'm really well chuffed on how this has turned out, despite the difficulties I had. Right, turning the camera around with my rambling finished. Hopefully I haven't bored you too much. If you've enjoyed these videos, I'll put some stills on, and I'll see you fairly soon with the next build. Thank you very much for watching.